The Guardians of the Four Directions. In a world where chaos roams at the edges of civilization, four divine beings stand as silent sentinels, protecting the realms from forces that seek to tear it apart. North, south, east, and west, each guardian is bound to their element, their duty as ancient as the earth itself. The winds of the north howled with a cold fury, and with it came a figure, tall, cloaked in the shimmering ice of eternity. The guardian of the north, called Ryar, whose breath could freeze the very air around him. He stood against the storms that threatened to swallow the northern lands whole. Yet, even as the winds whispered dark secrets, Ryar's heart beat steady. He had faced this enemy before, an ancient spirit of corruption that fed on fear. It rose with the frost, creeping down the mountainside, consuming everything in its path. It would stop for nothing. Far to the south, a fiery spirit blazed across the desert, a silhouette of molten fire and warmth. Zora, guardian of the south, radiated an intense heat, both dangerous and comforting. Her fiery wings spread wide, her eyes burning with a fierce determination. The ground trembled beneath her, as if even the earth itself feared her wrath. But her power was not merely destructive. Zora was the flame that brought life to the dry, barren sands, the one who revived the soul of the desert. But tonight, her flames flickered dangerously low, threatened by an enemy that sought to twist the fire's purity into something darker. It was the flame of chaos, and it was spreading fast. To the east, where the rising sun first touches the land, the earth trembled with the weight of a heavy, unstoppable force. Leon, guardian of the east, stood with a sword forged from the bones of the earth itself. His eyes mirrored the sky, calm and unyielding. But even the most steadfast can bend under pressure. As enemies surged from the horizon, threatening to bring down the mountains, Leon raised his sword, a silent promise to protect all that he loved. Yet this enemy was different, more cunning, more relentless. It could turn the very earth beneath him to dust. And to the west, where the sky met the sea, the guardian of the west, Kiri, hovered over the waves, a being of water and light. She was grace personified, her form shifting like a storm-tossed sea. As the tide turned dark with an unnatural force, her thoughts became a whirlwind. The creatures of the deep had been awakened, drawn by the pull of a dark power beneath the waves. Her power was not just a gift, but a heavy responsibility. If she failed, the oceans would rise, consuming everything in their path. As the four guardians stood at the edges of the world, each facing their own battle, they knew that the chaos would not stop unless they stood together. It was not just the winds, the flames, the earth, or the waters that needed protecting. It was the world itself. Bound by a pact older than time, they converged, their powers aligning like the points of a compass, creating a force that could push back the encroaching darkness. But as the battle raged, one truth became clear. The world needed them. But they needed each other more. Alone, they could hold the lines. Together, they could defeat the chaos once and for all. The elements clashed, the winds howled, the fires roared, the earth cracked, and the sea surged. But in the end, it was unity that prevailed. The world was safe, for now. But the Guardians knew, as the sun set and the stars began to twinkle above, that this peace would not last forever. The battle would return, and when it did, they would be ready. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more adventures. Comment below to let us know your thoughts and help the channel grow.